The experiences of Joseph Smith allowed him to testify that Christ had a physical, resurrected body. But why was that testimony important in the first place? One reason is that the doctrine of Christ's resurrection had long been under siege. In fact, the prevalence of Greek philosophy meant that it was under attack almost as soon as Christ rose from the dead. A new article by Matthew L. Bowen outlines that attack, as well as how early writers like Luke and John used their words to fight back. For Greek-influenced cultures under the philosophy of Middle Platonism, the physical world was a lesser, lower order of reality. The physical body was something to be overcome rather than embraced, and the idea that God had a body in that light would have been offensive. Early Gnostic sects like the Nicolaitans actively taught against a physical resurrection, to the point that Paul had to keep persuading the early churches that they could look forward to being resurrected themselves. It's in that context that Luke and John wrote what would become a fair chunk of the New Testament, and they took great pains to emphasize the physical nature of the risen Christ. There's Luke 24, where Christ dines with the disciples and invites them to handle him, to examine his wounded hands and feet. There's the early parts of Acts, where Luke records Peter testifying repeatedly to those same basic physical facts. There's John, who has Christ telling Mary, "Touch me not," which should probably be better rendered, "Don't hold on to me." In that context, he's essentially telling Mary to stop clinging onto him, because of course that would be her immediate reaction upon seeing him risen from the dead. As Bowen puts it, all of these things assert the reality of Jesus' resurrection in increasingly concrete terms. And since modern Christianity continues to be influenced by those old Greek ideas, perhaps we have something to learn from that example. See the links for details, and be sure to follow or subscribe for the latest in Restoration scholarship.